Man oh man, we had some insane price action for BTC, ETH and pretty much any other alt in the last couple days. This is going to be an absolute jam-packed episode, so if you like the content, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment or share this video with your friends if you think it's useful, and then I would say right away let's get into the content, because this is going to be a big update. Friday I gave you 3 long trades for BTC. And I said I hope that we are backtesting that old all-time high. That just never happened. Then there was one from the point of control taking out the liquidity here. Also that didn't happen. And then of course the last long also didn't happen because BTC just grinded sideways and higher and had a pretty big move up on Sunday. And I'm going to show you a couple important things, so please stick around. I am keeping this in just in case we're getting a major dump down, but actually I don't think that it will be hit anymore. This is right now BTC on the 1 hour from the moment that we pretty much knew that Trump is going to be president all the way to where we are right now. BTC pumped up 20%, ETH did more than 30%, some of the alts did 30, 40, 50%. Absolutely insane in a matter of days. And before you know it, we're looking at $82,000 for Bitcoin. As I said, this is the status quo. This looks maybe a bit weird. This is a volume profile that I put in. This is from the low that we created to the current high. And then you can see that the point of control is coming in right here at 76,300. Keep that in mind because I will come back at it in a second. This is a little bit of a channel where we are in right now. You can see that we're just slowly grinding higher. It's very hard to get into a long trade here because there's almost no retracement. And with that being said, on Sunday we had a pretty big move up. That also means that we have a pretty big CME gap, and that is a purple line that you see right here, 77,300. Everyone is longing like crazy right now, and you can also see that in the funding rate. You see that BTC has a pretty strong positive funding rate across the board. And if you then look here at the open interest in CBD, then you can also see there's a lot of open interest. We're now above 1 billion. Now mind you, that is only on this trading pair, BTC USD perpetual on Bybit. That's it. So there are many more trading pairs, there are many more exchanges. So the real number of course is many times higher. But this is 1 billion, that's extreme, but it's very much leading to what we see now in the market. And also CBD is increasing dramatically. In other words, all these new positions opening, they're all long trades, and that also then again translates into funding rate. Why is that important? Well, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a quick move down to clear the funding rate, to liquidate or stop out the late longers, and then to continue the trend. I've said this already at the moment that Trump got elected, but I will repeat it again. The new bull market has started. I am so confident of that. But you will see sometimes these flushes, the wicks to the downside, again to clear out those late longs, and then we continue higher. Also, I've said it already that from this moment on, shorts will be very short for me and only be scalps, but I will be mainly looking for long trades. Don't try to short in a bull market. Look for long trades and just ride the wave. That is also what I'm going to do now. What are the possible trades I'm looking at? Well, one could be a long from that CME gap. So let's say we are getting that flush. Whoops, that was the wrong one. We are getting the flush, and then eventually we are hitting that CME gap, and that is at and around 77,300. Then I will take the long trade there, and I'll put my stop loss very locally underneath the local low or underneath the wick. So then I'm going to zoom in into the 1 minute or the 5 minute, and then I will put my stop loss there before I enter the trade. Please disregard this big wick that you see here. This wick looks like the CME gap is filled, but this only happened here on this trading pair and none of the other trading pairs. So the CME gap is still very much open, and it resides at 77,360. That would be my first long. As you can see, it also coincides with the 78.6 of the fib retracement. The next one is then the point of control of the rise up that we had, and that is also lining up exactly with a naked weekly point of control, and I cannot remember when I have seen this. So that's exactly at the same price level. That is 76,300. The other one was 77,300, and this is 76,300. So in case we would hit that level, I do expect a reaction, And the nice thing is also if I move the FIB a little bit lower than underneath these lows, you can also see that the 78.6 is there of the FIB retracement. So nice confluence, but this is going to be a major level, 76,300. That will be definitely a long for me. Other than that, I could imagine if it's really a big dump that we are finally going to retest the old all-time high. And you might be thinking, which all-time high is that, because we already made so many last couple days. I'm talking about the all-time high that we put in here in March, that is shy of 74k. Let's say the price dumps pretty low, and I do not think that we will see it in the next couple of days, but let's just assume that it will happen. Then I want to be prepared for my levels, and I want to know that there is something there that we could bounce off from. That will be the next long trade, and it also lines up exactly with the 78.6, so that is at and around 74k. Other than that, I will keep this long trade on. I'm having a hard time imagining that we would dump all the way down to 71,500, but just in case, if we take out the liquidity, yes, I would absolutely take the long trade. But like I said, everything looks so incredibly strong right now. I cannot imagine that the bears will give the bulls the opportunity to even get into the price action around these prices. So 4 long trades, 1 is closer to CME gap, 1 is a bounce of the naked weekly and rise of the point of control, and then we have the 78.6, which is a back test of that all-time high, and then of course the liquidity underneath all of these lows here will be taken out. But we have seen so many times during this bull run that is pretty much the theme here, that liquidity is so much left behind. So the lower we go, the less likely these long trades are. I actually think that even if we would get a bounce off the CME gap, that would already be absolutely perfect. Because even in bull markets, you also see that CME gaps are not completely filled, so there's only half filled, and then price shoots up. So also there, it is then hard to get in. If you feel very confident, you think, you know what, Ray, I don't even think we're going to hit the CME gap, well, then you could try to play something very locally, but you need to be careful because this is on a much smaller time frame. I'm now zooming in here on the 5 minute, and then you could say, well, maybe we can bounce off of the VWAP, therefore I kept it into the screen in this video, or maybe of that golden pocket. And the idea is then of course that we are grinding slowly higher. There's barely any good retrace, and it's also hard to get into a long trade, so you need to zoom in and play it on a smaller time frame, getting in on smaller retraces before price moving higher again. This is a bit more tricky because there's not really a key level. We're also in price discovery, you know, anything can happen from here. We can pump up another 10%. We can suddenly get that liquidation dump. So these long trades on a small time frame, please be careful with them. I will not put them on the screen. I just want to mention them. And that if I take the long during a trading session, that will be then after New York open, so I'm waiting for the liquidity of New York to come in. I will update you on Twitter if I take another long trade. For now, these are the key levels. So again, CME, naked weekly point of control, and the rise point of control, back test of all-time high, or maybe liquidity, but I don't think that we get it. In the next couple of days, I will also upload way more content about some of the altcoins. I already had a few requests. Yes, I will look at them and I will upload it as soon as possible. And of course, I will also look at ETH. There is a lot of stuff going on, and I will try to update you as much as possible. If you like those efforts, those updates, then please do me a favor by liking, subscribing, clicking on the bell, clicking all, so that you don't miss those future notifications. And feel free also to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, where I try to update you as much as I can. Thank you guys so much. See you in the next one. Bye bye.